Yo, how's it going everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Pokemon Journey series. We're going to be covering episode 98 in today's review, and it's like a horror-focused episode, with Flareon and Jolteon being the evolutions that are focused on in today's episode as well. So, how was the episode overall? Well, before I get into the episode review, you guys know the drill. If you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It'd be pretty awesome if you would do that. But anyways, let's talk about this episode. So there's a circus taking place in Vermilion City, and apparently Ash and Go have been chosen to participate in this circus. And according to the subs, it was through a lottery, apparently. So I don't know if they were forced to do this or if it was by choice. Who cares? They're participating. So they're on their way, and Koharu is actually joining them to watch them during the rehearsals because two of the stars in the trapeze event and at the circus performance is a Flareon and a Jolteon. Little do they know is that these Pokemon haven't actually evolved yet. They're still Eevees. So we're kind of led to believe that they've already fully evolved. But anyways, they head to the circus, and apparently the ringleader is that guy from the Pewter City Museum. Apparently this guy has multiple jobs, and this is the third said job he has in the Journey series. We then meet the two star performers in this circus performance. We have Hanukkah and her partner Pokemon, an Eevee named Karen. I'm not joking when I say that. This Eevee's name is literally Karen. We have a Karen Eevee, guys. At least it's not over dramatic in the episode. And then we have Billy and his partner Pokemon, an Eevee named Rhyme. And yes, they haven't fully evolved them yet because they're planning on evolving them because Hanukkah over here, she's a fan of fire-type Pokemon, so she's going to be evolving her Eevee into a Flareon. And Billy over here, he's a fan of electric Pokemon, so he's going to be evolving his Eevee into Jolteon. And they both have a Fire and a Thunderstone, respectively, to evolve their Pokemon. Unfortunately, as they're going to evolve the two Eevees, they end up dropping their stones, and the two stones switch places, and they end up on the wrong Eevee. So, Hanukkah ends up evolving her Eevee into Jolteon, and Billy evolves his Eevee into Flareon. Now, despite this, they want to carry on the performance, so the ringleader suggests that they switch their partner Pokemon up, so they match up their types. Unfortunately, this doesn't work, as the two evolutions, they just want to be with their partner and work together with their partner. So it's not exactly working out here, so they try working together with their partners, and once again, it's not working out. They definitely can't nail this performance. Now, by all means, the performance probably would end up being canceled here. Fortunately, Koharu actually spots the two evolutions practicing outside, and Eevee actually joins in with the practice, learning their fire and electric moves respectively. And Ash and Go decide to help as well. Koharu brings out the two performers, and they all realize that their partner Pokemons really want to perform and make this performance special. So they agree to work with one another, and then the next day comes. So, at the day of the circus performance, we have Ash and Go who are up first. And they actually do a pretty good job, which is pretty surprising considering the rehearsals were not really going so well for them. But they end up nailing their performance. But moving on to the main event, we have Hanukkah and Billy, who along with their partner Pokemon actually manages to nail off their performance as well. By working with one another, with the two evolutions working with one another, they actually end up nailing their performance. But they also get some assistance from Koharu and Eevee, who were a last-minute addition to this circus performance, with Eevee using Copycat to use Fire-type, Electric-type moves, along with their own Pokemon, which they all combine their moves to create a bunch of fireworks in the background, which turns out to be an amazing performance. And with a successful circus performance in the books, Hanukkah and Billy give Koharu a Thunder and a Firestone for her to evolve her Eevee someday. Depending on what path Eevee chooses in the future, Koharu has multiple options now, as the episode comes to an end. Now overall, I found this episode to be decent. It's definitely not a bad episode, but I'd say it's far from being one of my favorite Koharu Focus episodes. I'd still recommend checking it out, it's a pretty enjoyable watch. But I thought it was pretty neat that we had two performers here that specialize in a certain type of Pokemon, and their Eevee ends up evolving into a different type, and they have to deal with that. But we've seen this episode template before where we have a character of the day, they're struggling with something, Ash and the others help them out, and they end up overcoming their weaknesses or their difficulties, and they end up working out in the end. So yeah, it's a bit of a generic template, but Despite that, it was still an enjoyable watch. Now, even though Kahoru was definitely the MVP in today's episode, and the whole reason why this performance was so successful, it bothers me that the whole reason that she's even here was because Ash and Go were the ones that were selected to perform in this circus, not her. She was only there to watch the rehearsals because two of the performers have Eevees, or what she saw on the poster, a Flareon and a Jolteon. Two evolutions she wants Eevee to meet, so that it one day will figure out what it wants to evolve into down the road sometime. And not gonna lie guys, that kind of bothers me a little bit because I feel like she should have been selected along with Ash and Go, or alternatively, and better yet, I feel like she should have been the one that was solely picked for this circus performance, and Ash and Go are the ones that are helping her out during rehearsals. And while I think it's interesting that it's advertised that a Jolteon and a Flareon are going to be part of this trapeze performance, I almost feel like it would have been more mysterious if Kahoru and Ash and Go didn't know about this. So then when Kahoru is selected for this circus performance, she goes down there and she discovers that these two performers have Eevees that they're going to evolve into a Jolteon and a Flareon respectively. That would have been very interesting. It would have been a coincidence that she was selected for this and an opportunity for her Eevee to learn from the two evolutions. I don't know, I feel like this would have been better too. Plus, I don't think Ash and Go's performance really did a whole lot to this episode. It didn't really contribute a whole lot. It was just there to be kind of flashy and nice. But I almost feel like Kahoru should have had her own performance. Like it starts out with her and her Eevee performing, which leads into the trapeze performance, and then maybe she helps out with her Eevee using the fire and electric moves to create the fireworks. Something like that. I just feel like there should have been more done here. Even though it was cool, and again, Kahoru was the MVP of this episode, her performance here, it was more so just assisting the two trapeze performers and not really doing her own thing. Like if she would have done her own thing and then it led into that, I think that would have been much better in my opinion. Again, these are just my thoughts. I just feel like this would have been a better way to present this episode. Or like I said, if you agree or disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section down below, but those are just my thoughts on this. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for today's episode review. So again, this was a pretty decent episode, an enjoyable watch, but not my favorite Kahoru focus episode. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. So in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. What do you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you think that Kahoru should have been the one that was selected and not Ash and Go, like I thought? Or do you think there should have been some different way this episode could have been handled? Or do you think it was handled perfectly? Regardless, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So post them in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And have a great day or night where you're at, guys. And I'll see you all later. Bye.